Macmillan Audio presents A Time for War by Michael Savage. Read for you by Pete Larkin. Prologue. Tangi Valley, Afghanistan. Chief Petty Officer James Grant sat on the rattling red canvas seat among 38 of his fellow SEALs as the CH-47D Chinook slashed across the dusty valley. He didn't really see the men sitting across from him, wasn't aware of the white sunlight coming through the big windows, washing color from the cabin, save for the bright red, white, and blue of the flag stretched across the roof 3 feet above him. Some genetic part of him was always aware of Old Glory, wherever he was, wherever it was, however small or large, whether it was a grocer's lapel pin or high on a staff. But right now, ferrying the quick reaction team to a firefight, James Grant wasn't thinking of the present. He did what he always did when the uncertainty of the war closed in, when nothing was guaranteed but the present, this moment. He went back to his one pure and perfect time, the 13th of May, 2010. Spring was new, and their life together was younger still. James Grant and Jeannie Bundy stood in her parents' backyard under a sharp blue Arizona sky. 24 friends and relatives watching them marry. It was the last thing Chief Petty Officer Grant would do before shipping off to Naval Amphibious Base, Little Creek in Virginia Beach, Virginia. Joining the SEALs was a tradition begun by his grandfather in 1963, a year after the Navy's Special Operation Force was founded. Taking a bride was part of that big, holy deal, as his own father had once described it. You wed, you wore your country's uniform, and you served God by doing both. That was the proud, grand way, dating to the French and Indian War, and Major Richard Grant of the Virginia Militia. An only child of an only child, James felt a particular pride in being the standard-bearer for a generation. The shrill, clipping sound of the Chinook's wings edged into his mind. Chief Petty Officer Grant willfully held on to the image of Jeannie in her simple white gown, like a little ray of sun given form and breath and a loving, trusting expression. As he spoke the vows and looked into her innocent eyes, life seemed full and complete. The future given form and clarity, the world made comprehensible. He smiled at the memory. The smile lasted as long as a heartbeat. A moment later, the Chinook made a sickening drop that kicked Grant's entire body up against the padded roof of the cabin. There were shouts, but they were just words. Power! Down! Christ! His body, along with those of the other men, didn't come down until the helicopter did, smacking the barren ground like a monstrous fly-swatter, the fore and aft rotors springing earthward and then up before settling into ugly, still-twisting shapes as the cabin collapsed beneath them. Sand billowed from the impact zone, followed by a fanning array of sparks. Then they were swallowed by a massive red-orange fireball that punched from the olive-green chopper to both sides of the valley before the wreckage had even settled. The flames rolled back, seeking something to burn, as black smoke churned upward, driven by the dying turns of the rotors. A grand tradition perished in an instant, along with 39 lives and countless futures. Samo Yang, the man nearest the explosion, the only man in this remote section of the valley, smiled. He was behind a large rock, dead brushwood and gnarled juniper branches piled high on either side for camouflage. The Chinese national was still crouched on the balls of his feet, ready to retreat in case the helicopter was not traveling alone. It was difficult to be sure with the deafening echo generated by the twin Chinook rotors and visibility limited by winds that whipped up swirling dust devils the size of a mango tree. These windstorms were made visible by the dead foliage and sand.
Sample complete. Ready to continue?